everybody, back with another breakdown, man. Today is currently Wednesday. I'm gonna be dropping a breakdown for gold today. The trade I executed on gold for last night's session, and then I'm gonna be touching on GBPUSD, and I'm gonna also break down I think I'll also break down US30. I think US30 will be good. If I don't break down US30 towards the end of this video, I'm definitely going to be touching on GBPJPY. GBPJPY looks a lot cleaner than what it's been, and it looks like it's forming a little bit more structure, so we can actually execute on this compared to US30. But without further ado, man, let's hop right into it. So for those that have been watching my videos since the beginning of January, I've been talking about gold and how I've pretty much been anticipating for us to get back up to this daily resistance at like these 2710 levels and potentially higher. And based off daily time frame, we've been having our bullish transitions. Now we have our first bullish transition in this area here, and then we have our second bullish transition in this area here. Well, the zones I just currently marked out are levels of resistance based off our daily time frame. Now we have the transitions along these yellow zones now, where we have found a level of support along these levels of daily resistance. So daily resistance, daily support, daily resistance, daily support, and so on. So as long as price maintains these red random lines, then for the most part we could find a bullish transition along these areas to then execute to get back to the upside. Now all of this would just be flowing based off of our larger time frame, since we are still bullish. So let's go from our daily to our 1 hour. Now our daily to our 1 hour time frame, we see here we have gotten this counter trend, and the counter trend probably looks a lot cleaner off the 4 hour, and it sure does. From this resistance here to this support here, and then from this support we found a minor lower high, tested this level of support. Now this is just all level of confluence based off this daily resistance. 4 hour did then form a double bottom, closed bullish above this level of resistance, and then closed bearish testing this level. So when I was on this on the 1 hour and 30-minute time frame for yesterday's video, I was breaking down how I was looking for buys along this orange zone based off my 1 hour time frame, and if price came down into the zone, this would be my buy zone, and I would be looking for buys. So for our 1 hour time frame, we see here we got well, you have your blue over red cross on your EMAs at this point here. Right in here is when you have that cross. I was on my 30-minute time frame in this area where we had the blue over red cross here, and then we had the blue over red cross here, just pretty much giving me direction that buyers are in the market and we can continue to trend bullish. So once we had this second cross here and price was up here during Asian session going into London session, I did execute or try to execute buys along this zone and got clapped. Tried executing here, and then I tried executing again for buys right after we got this engulfing here, and price pretty much continued to push bearish. And just because it was still early in the session, it did result in 2 losses. And unfortunately, just keeping myself accountable and being transparent for anyone who watches these videos, I did blow 2 accounts. Now it sucks. It definitely sucks because in the past month and a half at least, I've blown 10 accounts, which is not like me. I am doing 1-step challenges right now, so it gives me less risk on the day and less risk overall on the account. So it is just something I'm adapting to, and I have to do better at being able to execute after my time that I've established for myself, which is 10 p.m. Anything before that guarantees myself a loss because price is still flowing, even though my bias may be correct. Because once I was trying to execute for buys, that was my overall bias. I was executing buys off of this area here. Price was just not ready based off this 5-minute time frame. It fell, gave us that initial support. Now, as long as price maintains this support, then we're good to hold buys with our stop loss below this level. This area down here for buys would have just been higher confluence for myself. If I got buys here, this is pretty much what I would be projecting. But since I got buys up in this area, I could have definitely held with my stop loss here. But if I wanted to leave more room to breathe, then I would have put my stop loss down here, which is a drastic change for risk, because this is a 63 pip stop loss compared to a 36, so you almost double that stop loss range. So this would have been a good entry with my stop loss below here. Now once price respected this area here, I had purchased 2 new accounts, so I did enter. I let price breathe a little bit. I entered around 9 o'clock, so I had entered in this area, like right in here, and I think I had my stop loss right here for 32 pips. And I'm gonna also drop an image of it as well. I did screenshot it, so I actually posted it on my Instagram. I'm gonna post it in here so you guys can see my entry points and how I'm not just saying, oh, I would have entered here or I did enter here and really didn't. I am really doing this and I'm really executing. So let's see. So this would have been the entry point for anyone that would have entered here. That would have been solid as well. That is Asian session, so this would have been around 6 p.m. This would have been like almost a 7 p.m. entry. So once we found out that price formed support here, price pushed back down, and then it tested support and formed like a 5-minute double bottom, this would have been your next entry point right in here. And then you could have definitely rolled this to the upside. 36 pip stop loss, could have targeted the highs at like 26.89, and you would have been pretty much solid. TP would have got a hit. That would have been a 104 risk to reward. Now my entry was around 9 p.m. As soon as price pushed up, and then we found a level of support right in here, I was willing to risk based off of my overall bias and what price was showing me. I entered like at exactly 9 o'clock, maybe 9:05, so it was like right in here somewhere. Had my stop loss below this little wick zone right in here based off the 5-minute time frame. So if price would have came down, I would have had about a 38 pip stop loss. It gave room for price to breathe, and then I TP'd around 26.83, 26.84. Which would have been about a 1 to 2 risk to reward, which is still beautiful. I could have still held, but I didn't want to be in this trade any longer just because I did just blow my accounts. On my 2 other accounts, I did take a loss and had no more room to execute. And I just wanted to have a good start on these accounts with cushion to execute on any further trades. Now this would have definitely hit my overall TP at around 26.90, which would have been solid as well, but it's all good, man. I'll definitely just keep pushing and bounce back on that one. But that would have been my execution point for gold for buys. Now to go on to today's session and what I'm currently looking for. I kind of just had a marked out analysis of how I could have executed during New York, which would have been about a 9 to 10 a.m. entry, which is not my place to trade. So let's just delete all this, have some clear details on what price is currently doing, and then we'll see how we can execute. So let's go back to our 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, you see we have this higher low now. Boom, we have daily resistance up here. I just marked off that exhaustion area for this resistance. You have your daily median at this point in here. Let's go back to our 1-hour time frame. Let's see, 1 hour time frame. You got this in here. One area, actually, because this is exhaustion as well. So this is an exhaustion zone based off your 1-hour time frame here. Also a median in here. So as long as price breaks above, then we're good. And for the most part, it did break above, came back down, and found support. And then you have another hourly support right in here. So currently price is still trending bullish. So what I would be looking for in this area, because we are at this daily resistance and I do still want to target the highs at like 27.10, I will be waiting for price to give me a retracement and find some sort of support. Now my best area for confluence is probably going to be as price comes to hit this red EMA, still holding as a level of support as it did right in here, as you guys can see. And as it did that, price then continued to rally and push bullish. So if I go from the 1 hour time frame to my 15-minute, you kind of see a level of support on your smaller time frames right in here. So as long as price comes to touch like 26.88 and maybe lower, then I could definitely see price find a level of support. And if it finds that level of support, it gives me a double bottom, gives me a bullish confirmation, kind of like it did in this area here on the smaller time frames, and I will be looking to execute for buys. Now there's not much details in this area because price did kind of give us a strong push. I will be waiting. So 26.88 is going to be my area of execution at the least. Now if price maybe tends to come down to this area, come up, and then form like a lower high based off your hourly, and then your 4 hour candle begins to show like buyer's exhaustion, then at that point I'll be looking for sales, just because we are in this daily level of resistance. Now look, we also want to keep in mind we do have core retail sale news at 8:30 a.m. And no news Friday, so maybe we could get clean traffic for the next 2 days and hopefully close out the week strong. So that's going to be my bias for gold. I'm still looking for buys as long as we maintain these levels of support. Now we also want to keep in mind our main higher low point is down here at like 26.78. So as long as price doesn't break this area, then we should still be good for buys. But yeah, this is going to be our main higher low level, our main higher low. 1 hour higher low. So as long as price doesn't break this, we're good for the buys. But if I do want to take a continuation move of buys, I will wait for price to come back down to 26.88. If it doesn't come back down to 26.88, I'm definitely not executing. Only way that I'll execute on something like that, I'll maybe have to wait for, let me see. I may have to wait for price to get above this daily zone and then come back down and give us some sort of higher low point to then execute. But I'm not sure that could happen. We'll just have to wait to see what kind of details price wants to give me going into London session. So now back to GBPUSD. So for those that haven't been watching my videos, we are currently bearish on GBPUSD. As you guys can tell, we've been forming pretty much lower high, lower low points, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, and now we're currently getting our next lower high point. Daily time frame did close bullish with a lot of buyers exhaustion off the top, but you guys can see here that we have found a level of support within this 1.215 area to 1.216. Now as we go to our 1 hour time frame, we see here that we are currently counter trending. We are currently counter trending at this moment. You have your cross of the EMAs here, but we are respecting this 1 hour lower high level. 1 hour lower high level. But this is going to be your main. Another 1 hour lower high area. I don't want to extend this out. Let me actually. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. We do see here that price is building up buyers pressure. So you have higher low, and then a higher low in here. Now what I am going to be looking for at this point in time for this pair, we can see here that we are kind of showing that sellers strength is like no longer in the market. Now as long as we continue to maintain these higher low points based off your 1 hour time frame, then we could definitely see price continue to get a push to the upside. Now my main confluence level for sales is going to be this 1.23500 area, but my first target for sales is probably going to be like 1.23,000 flat here, or even like 1.23200 right in here. Now based off daily time frame and it closing bullish, we could still see a push to the upside. Now the only thing is now that we have all this exhaustion up here, price could potentially be weak. So if we get that push up, we could definitely come right back down. This may not be my best pair to trade, just because we are still bearish, but we are getting some bullish traction right now. We could definitely begin to counter trend. So like based off of our 4 hour time frame, we are trending above the EMAs now, which can be a strong sign for a transition. Daily time frame is definitely approaching these EMAs, so price could definitely come up to respect these EMAs for a daily lower high point and then come down. And this would just be a daily counter trend, but a 1 hour bullish trend. For those that know, it's pretty much a counter trend based off your daily time frame. You just have a lower high point to a lower low, and then once you get to that lower low point, hourly time frame begins to form higher highs, higher lows, but you still don't have that higher low point. Based off your daily time frame, it'll just be a lower low, and then you'll notice on the 1 hour time frame to the daily time frame, once that daily time frame establishes that lower high, then you can see that structure based off your 1 hour time frame. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so what I'm gonna be waiting for at this point in time is maybe wait till GBPUSD could get a break above here, and if we can maintain like some form of support within this area, then I'll be targeting buys to at least here for a TP1 and then up here for a TP2. But yeah, that's probably as clean as GBPUSD is gonna get. Now to just kind of add more confluence to it, you see here support, resistance, broke above, came right back below, resistance. So if we break above here and we see this area play as support, then I'm gonna be definitely anticipating buys back up to 1.23200, 1.235 to 600 area, and call it a day on that, man. So let me change these to a stronger correlation with my 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so as long as price gets above here, I'll be looking for buys. So GBPUSD, definitely looking for buys on that. GJ, so I'm gonna break down GJ, not even gonna touch these other pairs. Let's see, GBPJPY. So we have our current, not our all-time high, but it is definitely a high that we've been at for a minute now. So we have our higher high, our higher low based off monthly time frame. Daily time frame, we are currently trending bearish, but overall structure is bullish based off that low at 180, 250 area. Okay. See here, we just kind of just track structure and see what it's doing. Okay, so for the past week, we have been bearish on GJ. We have been, well, past 2 weeks, we've been bearish on GJ. It looks like we're barely approaching a weekly level of a higher low, weekly level of support right in here where I marked off that red zone based off my daily time frame. Daily time frame did find a level of support with this huge seller's exhaustion wick. Found a lower high point based off the past 2 days right in here. So let's go from our daily time frame to our 4 hour. Price definitely broke structure along this area here. We did find support though here prior to this zone here. So we're just clearly forming lower highs. You got another lower high point right in here, and then you have your main lower high point right in here. So let's go from, so daily close bearish, 4 hour, forming that lower high point, 1 hour time frame. So based off my 1 hour time frame, cool. So based off my 1 hour time frame, this is going to be our lower high point. So once we get a break above 192.750, I will be looking for overall buy opportunities based off this downside where we're currently at around 191. I will be looking to anticipate buys if we continue to get exhaustion, or a good sign that we are going to continue to push back to the upside. We just got to keep in mind that we are approaching a weekly level of support. This is a daily time frame higher low point as well. Same thing based off your weekly time frame. Weekly time frame found a lower high, came down. This is like a double bottom, found a higher high, higher low, high, and now we're getting back to this area to hold and potentially form a low based off your weekly time frame. Daily time frame could potentially be forming a higher low. Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to mark off this zone as well, because if we can't get above this zone here to get back up to 192.500, then this is going to be a clear indication that we are most likely going to push down. So you have your main lower high point 192.5 to 192.750. Then you have a lower high right in here. Boom. Boom. And we're clearly trending below this level of support. So what I will be looking for GJ, unless GJ could get back above like 191.750, I will be looking for sales all the way back down to like 190 flat and potentially further, because when GJ likes to run and GJ likes to just move, this thing can melt. And I believe we have GBP news, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow. Yeah, GBP news, well, yeah, 2 a.m. and the GBP news 2 a.m. Friday as well. So that's one thing to be mindful of. Yeah, so let's see how we can execute on this and what price is looking like. So from our 1 hour time frame to our 15-minute. Yeah, man, I think I'm gonna be sold on this GBP move. I'm not even going to lie. You guys are probably wondering, why am I drawing two different random lines? Just because I don't want to lessen my chance of maybe finding a high probability trade off of this area. I could maybe even just draw it off of the 1 hour based off the initial level of support to make it easier for myself. So I'll draw it from this area once we bottomed out to this area here where price actually found that level of support. This was kind of a doji. This was a bearish candle. Let's see, maybe I'll draw it from the median and kind of draw it like right in here, just in case price wants to maybe push a little bit higher. Nah, I like this. I like this. So I'm gonna just leave this. I'm gonna just leave this mark. I'm not changing this whatsoever. Bro, what the heck? Boom here. And then boom here. So this is what I'm looking for on GBPJPY. I'm definitely looking for these sell opportunities. Let's see if I could. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. So one, two, and then we have our third touch here, which pretty much confirms this trend line opportunity. So as long as price maintains lower high points in this area, I will be looking for sales, and this looks really clean. I think I'm gonna be executing off this pair tonight as long as we can maintain these sales. I kind of like this area right in here based off this 15-minute time frame, right before price gave us that strong push down. So what area is this? 191. We'll do 191.750. I do like to play by my quarter points on GBPJPY. So 191.750, and then we see here, well, I'll do like 191.750, 191.600. Just because this is your level of resistance based off of that 191.600 area, but price could potentially play up further, like right into here where we have this support and then resistance. I kind of like this area a lot better, so I'll do 850. So as long as price maintains below 191.900, maybe 192 at most, then I will be looking for sales. I could even do, I'm just trying to find what's clean. We have this last lower high point 191.750, but we have our overall resistance based off this 15-minute time frame at like 192. So as long as price can push into this zone and then hold this area for a lower high, then I could definitely be looking for sales back down to the downside. So that's going to be my breakdown for today, man. Hopefully this breakdown makes sense. I'm definitely going to be eyeing GBPJPY over GBPUSD, and I'm going to still be looking for those buys on gold. So that's going to be my breakdown. Hopefully you guys learned a little something from that. Hopefully we can learn from our mistakes that we had made yesterday. Maybe you guys didn't even make any mistakes, but you guys caught a winning trade or made some money. Let's continue to journal, man. Let's continue to be disciplined, be consistent, and do what we know we should be doing. And hopefully we could level up from that, man, and be in a better position tomorrow, be a better trader tomorrow than we are today. So with that being said, man, if you guys watched it to this point of the video, I appreciate you. Have a blessed Wednesday. Let's close the week out strong, man, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.